Morning everyone, welcome back to the Knitting Expat Podcast channel. I am here today to talk to you about my new Redbubble shop. I have a few products here to share with you. So for those of you who've been around for a while, you'll know that around this time last year, almost exactly a year ago, it was actually at the end of March last year, I started doing watercolours. I started messing around with playing with watercolour painting. And I absolutely love it. I'm so in love with it. It's such a great creative outlet and I've really been enjoying it and seeing myself progress over the year and all of that. And you guys have been so supportive as well, and it's been amazing and I appreciate it so much. I do have a separate Instagram account for my watercolours, which is Mina Does Watercolour. I'll try and remember to have that linked below. So I've been asked by several people over the last year at different points about whether or not I'll have my watercolours available on different products, and I've thought about it, I've looked into it, and whilst it is possible for me to do at, you know, with getting the financials in place all okay, I'm just not sure if I'm in a position where I'm willing to have like lots of stock sitting around my house essentially, because, you know, there are minimum orders for different things and all of that sort of stuff, and you know, I could do it. I just don't know if I'm really in a position where I'm willing to take on stocking physical products in my home. I do that for greeting cards. I have some greeting card sets and note card sets still available in my Etsy, which is also linked below. But once those sell, I'm not sure what else if I'm gonna restock, do new note cards. I might do seasonal cards where, like, for different seasons or different occasions, like for Christmas and stuff, I might bring out like a range of cards for something like that. Or my currently for my Around the World in 8 socks, I'm planning sets of cards for that. I'm still just trying to figure out the pricing for that, and with shipping and things, just want to nail those down before I release those. But for other sorts of products, like I said, note cards and things don't take up too much space, so I don't mind having a small stock of those. I just don't want to have huge stocks of like bags and notebooks and all sorts of other things in my house right now. It's not practical for our situation. Also, dealing with shipping and packaging and all of that, it takes a long time, and I take my hat off to everyone, all small businesses who do that. I was in that position a while ago when I was making and selling project bags a few years ago, so I know how much work and effort goes into that, and right now I just don't have the additional time to really dedicate to that. Maybe one day I will, and I will adjust how I do things, but right now this is what works for me. By setting up a shop on Redbubble, I'm able to offer you guys my watercolor designs and paintings in a variety of formats and on a variety of products. So I think I have around 14 or 15 designs set up on my Redbubble right now. So there's a variety of different options, from florals to my watercolor map that I did for the sock club to it's like floral words. There's a fun little cat print. There's all sorts of different ones on there right now, and I will be adding more as and when I get around to making more. And yeah, and I wanted to order a few of the products to be able to share with you. I didn't order like a whole range of different products just because I tried to order the ones that I thought would be useful for me, and or I'm going to be giving some of these as gifts, so I wanted to make sure that I was getting things that I actually would have a use for, rather than just ordering for the sake of ordering, if you know what I mean. Like, I really wanted to get some of the mugs or like travel mug options and stuff to share, but to be quite honest, I don't need any more mugs. We are kind of overflowing with mugs right now in our house. Perry keeps telling me, he's like, if another mug comes through that door, we're going to have to get rid of some stuff. We're going to have to get rid of other mugs. It's going to be a one in, one out kind of rule in our house around mugs, it seems. Otherwise I would have ordered some of those as well. So moving on to the products, the first thing I want to say, they have stickers. I mean, some of these are repeats, but I ordered a bunch of stickers because I figured these are quite small, easy to store. Some of these I'll be using myself on like my travel mug, my notebooks, on my watercolor palettes and stuff like that. But you can also use these on whatever you want. Water bottles seem to be a really popular one right now for stickers, and they come in a variety of different options. So I got the matte stickers. They also offer transparent and glossy, I think, as well. So there are a few sticker options there. I really like how the matte ones turned out. That was really fun. So those are fairly affordable. The other thing I was really excited that they had as an option were these zippered pouches, because I think these are really practical, not just as a knitter or a crafter or crocheter or spinner, whatever, but also just in general life stuff. Zipper pouches are always really handy. Yeah, these little ones are great as like a notions pouch, like a project specific notions pouch that you want to put in your project bag, or like I said, like a coin purse, or for makeup, or whatever you want to keep in your handbag. All these bags are lined with a black fabric on the inside, and they're fairly affordable, nice zippered pouches. They also offer a drawstring bag option as well, which I didn't get, but there is that option. This is the medium size, which I really like how this one has turned out. And again, this is good as like a larger notions pouch, or maybe for like a small scrappy project. I know there's like birds of paradise were really popular a few years ago, but any sort of like small scale project would be quite nice for something like this, or like I said, a larger notions pouch, or for anything else you want to carry around in your handbag. And this is the large size one, and I actually think this is a really good size, not only as like a larger sort of toiletry style bag. I also really love the print on this one, but also as like a project bag. This one I showed on the podcast, I think, briefly. What I would do is I would fold the top down so the zipper is out of the way. I do this with my zipper project bags in real life anyway, like my actual dedicated project bags. And because it doesn't have a boxed bottom, what you can do is you can kind of like just flatten the corners a little bit, and then it will sit flat on a table. Well, when there's yarn in it, it'll probably sit better. And you can easily fit a couple of cakes of yarn in the space there. It's pretty decent size. You can fit 2 cakes of yarn, especially if you're doing socks 2 at a time. This would be a great size bag for that, and that's probably what I'm going to use this for, is for sock knitting. So you'll probably see this in use at some point soon. That's a really practical, really good practical size. It's also good for spinning, especially if you're a spindle spinner. I have one of these bags, so this is our Fluff to Stuff logo on one of the large bags, and it's currently housing my spinning project, my spindle spinning project. So I'm using my Turkish spindle to spin up some fibre. So I've got my spindle in there, got some fibre that I've prepped, and then I've got my little turtles that I'd already spun, and what's remaining of my fibre in here as well. So it fits a fair amount, it fits in there comfortably, nothing is too squashed, and it's just a nice way to store everything for a project in one space. And by the way, the reason why I'm sat here is because there's a whole bunch of stuff on my dining table, and I just can't be bothered to clear it up, so we're sat in the armchair today. Thought a little change of scenery wouldn't be too bad. And in case I hadn't mentioned it already, today is Wednesday the 3rd of March, so happy March. And the last thing I wanted to share with you were these notebooks that I also ordered. So there's 2 options for notebooks. There's the soft cover, spiral bound, and there's also a hard cover option. I personally prefer spiral binding for notebooks that I use like day to day, for like note taking, project notes, that sort of stuff. Just it's easier because you can fold the cover back. It's easier to take notes and stuff like that than with a hardcover notebook, but there is also that option if that is what you prefer. The paper is pretty decent for writing on. There's no issues with it. It's not too thin. It's pretty smooth. And I got it with the what they call the dot option. It's like little crosses, and they're quite light, so it's really nice for writing on. And I prefer like a grid paper option over a ruled paper for my notebooks. That's just my personal preference. And there's also a page at the back that kind of has a pocket on the back and front of it, so you can slip, I don't know, yarn bands or whatever you want to keep in the back there. So again, I got 2 of these. One I'll probably keep for myself, one is going to be a gift. So yeah, I love notebooks. I am a bit of a notebook hoarder, and yeah, I had no business ordering more notebooks, but I really wanted to share them with you, and I love a good notebook. And the last thing I have to show you are these tote bags, and I really love how these tote bags turned out. I got 2 in the medium size, which are pretty big. I can't remember what the dimensions are on these. Let me just check. I've got my tape measure here. Another advantage of doing this in the armchair is I've got all my notions and stuff next to me, so I can quickly check things. Okay, so these are 16 by 16 inch tote bags, so they're pretty decently sized. What's that in centimeters? About 40 centimeters, and they are boxed at the bottom, so they are flat on the bottom. And these are also lined in sort of a black fabric. There's no interfacing on these, so they're really soft. and squishy. And this one just has this really fun sort of like summer fruit pattern on it. And then I got another one in the same size with this floral print. I really like this one, if you couldn't tell. And so yeah, I really love how these are. Again, some of these are going to be gifts, I think, or maybe for prizes or giveaways and stuff like that. I haven't decided for everything. And then this one I ordered in the large size, which is 18 inches by 18 inches, so that's what, about 48 centimeters. And this one is the world map tote bag, which I really, really love how this one has turned out as well. And it's the same on both sides. Okay, so these are all the items that I have right now to share with you, but like I said, there are a whole host of other options on Redbubble that you can choose from for the different prints, from clothing to iPhone and like just phone covers, not just iPhone but phone covers, to like iPad covers, laptop skins and cases, and coasters, mugs, all sorts of different options, even face masks. Anyway, so I will leave a link to that below this video for you to go and check out if you're interested. The way Redbubble works is they are a print-on-demand service. If you've never heard of Redbubble or print-on-demand services before, what they do is, as an artist or a creator, you can upload your patterns to Redbubble, pick and choose what products you want them to be available on. You can edit the layout and how they look on each product, and then you can put that up for sale. If you go on and order one of the products, I get a certain percentage of that. I think it's set at like 20% or something as standard. So I get basically 20% of whatever it is that you've purchased, and the rest goes to Redbubble for their, and they basically print it on demand. So you place your order and they will make your product with that design and that layout for you. And so their cost is obviously taken out of that as well. But I personally prefer this option right now. It suits me and my situation really well. I don't have to worry about managing all the logistics of getting stuff printed and things like that. So that's all handled directly via Redbubble, which is a great relief for me. Like I said, not having to deal with a bunch of stock in my house. So that's another really good way of supporting me. If you would like to, if you like any of my designs and you would like to see them on different, you would like to own them on certain products or whatever, and I haven't been able to offer that before, now you have an option to be able to get those. And if there's any designs of mine that you've seen in the past that you have liked and you would like to see available on Redbubble, then please just let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. I've just done a few of the ones that I personally really liked at the moment, and like I said, I will be adding more as and when I have more available. But if there's any old ones, any past products that I've done that you'd like to see, then please let me know. I have also in the past been asked about spoon flower. Now spoon flower is a bit of a tricky one, and I did start to set up a spoon flower, and when I got to the point of actually making my designs available for purchase, like as fabrics, the spoon flower was kind of the same thing as Redbubble, but specifically for fabric, like print on demand fabric. But because of the way spoon flower is set up as a US company, I would have to provide tax information in the US, and they could hold my money for like tax purposes in the US, and quite frankly, I don't want to get involved with that. That's just not something I want to deal with. I don't want to have to pay an accountant in the US to deal with US taxes when I don't even have to pay US taxes as a UK resident and a UK national citizen. I don't live in the US, I'm not a resident of the US, I'm not a citizen of the US. I do not owe the US any money. But by selling through spoon flower, I could become liable, and I just don't want to deal with that, quite frankly. And I don't want to get on the wrong side of the US tax law either. So for that reason, spoon flower is not an option for me at the moment. As much as I hoped it would be, I was really looking forward to it, but can't do that. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Like I said, Redbubble is just another option, another way for you to support me if you would like to, as an option there for you. Obviously, my pattern sales are my main source of income as a knitwear designer. My patterns are available on Ravelry, and they're also going to be, all of them will be available on Payhip as well. I am currently, like literally as I am filming this, they are in the process of being transferred from Ravelry to Payhip. I'm also, I guess this is new information for you guys, I've not announced this anywhere else yet, I'm in the process of getting a website set up. So hopefully there'll be a website soon, which will be really fun, and that'll be like a central location where you can find all the information about anything I ever talk about, links to everything, all the different places you can find me, my different shops, everything will be like centralized on one place, which will be amazing. And I've been kind of putting off doing a website just because I don't know why. I've been putting it off, but now I'm finally doing it. I've hired someone to do it. I think that was the real step I needed to take. I just needed to hire someone to do it for me, because I'm not good at doing that sort of stuff. And yes, I'm really excited about being able to share that soon as well. All right, I think that's enough for today. This was only supposed to be a short little video introducing Redbubble to you guys and showing you some of the products available. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy checking it out, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. All right, take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.